Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing messages from spirit on what you need to know right now. So to do this reading we will be picking out 4 goddesses together. So for pile number 1 we have Freya. For pile number 2 we have Hectate. For pile number 3, we have Kali. And for pile number 4, we have Venus. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these in right away. I believe the goddess Freya, we didn't make an up-close shot for it. So let me bring it up so you can see it closely. All right, now that we've taken a look at our 4 goddesses for today's reading, let's take a look at your crystals if you like to pick with crystals. For pile number 1 we have the rose quartz, and this is how it looks like. For pile number 2 we have the cherry quartz, and this is how it looks like. For pile number 3 we have the Sodalite, and this is how it looks like up close. Yeah. And for pile number 4, we have the Amazonite. And again, this is how it looks like. All right. So take a look at which one of these 4 piles or 4 crystals you are the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, or in fact, if you feel drawn to all of the piles, always trust your intuition, because as you know, it will guide you to the right readings. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, know that there is a message in this pile that is very important there for you as well. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, if you love the card picking process and the shuffling, I left this section especially for you. I personally love spending this time with you. And also, as I always say, if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, you want to know their names or any information about them, I always leave a link to these decks and their names down in the description box. Okay, so let's begin our shuffling. But before I do, I just want to tell you something really funny that happened with this specific reading. So yesterday, I did this reading for you guys, and it took me 4 hours to do it. I did it from my heart and soul. I focused on the messages, and after 4 hours of shooting, I finished the shooting and I take a look at the camera and I realized that the file for some reason went corrupt. I cannot tell you that I actually did cry my heart out. It stung, and I was a little devastated, and I took the day off to calm down, tried to recover the file, didn't recover, and I spent the day with 2 of my friends. One of them reminded me that the messages simply weren't meant to come out now, and another friend reminded me to accept it. So I'm really grateful for that, and to look at the bright side. I'm happy that I'm here with you guys connecting, and I'd be more than happy to do this reading and get the right messages for you guys. So thank you for being there, and let's do it today. Hopefully successfully. All right, and let's shuffle to get our messages. By the way, if you're wondering, this deck that we picked the piles from is exactly this. It's part of this deck. It's a deck it's an oracle about the moon. I love this deck, and part of it is moon goddesses. So these are the ones that I took out to pick from in today's reading, and then we'll be using the rest of the deck as messages as well. So can we kindly get messages from spirit on what the 4 piles need to know today, please. What do they need to know today? Can we kindly get messages from Spirit on what the 4 piles need to know today? Thank you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's get into our next deck. Let's use this one and ask the same question with the same energy. Can we kindly get messages from Spirit on what the 4 piles need to know right now, please? Thank you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, on to our last oracle deck. Can we kindly get messages, please, from Spirit on what the 4 piles need to know right now, please? By the way, if you're hearing noises in the background, as you may know, this is my dog. He always loves to stay around, and I always love keeping him around. So apologies for that. What messages from Spirit do the 4 piles need to know right now, please? All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, moving on to our next tarot deck. There we go. So 1, what do they need to know right now from Spirit, please? 3, oh, well, it looks like 4 has 2 cards. Okay, from this specific deck. All right, moving on to our next deck. Oh, did you see that? Well, you did see it, so I'm sure the right messages will always come out. So what is up? This deck is ready to speak, isn't it, today? All right. So this is kind of making me feel that there are urgent messages for the 4 piles today. So that's a strong message that I'm getting. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. On to our next deck. All right. Can we kindly know what messages are there for our 4 piles, please, from Spirit? There we go. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, next deck. Yeah, there we go. May we kindly know what messages are there from Spirit, please, for our 4 piles on what they need to know right now. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. What messages are there from Spirit for our 4 piles today, please? Oh, lovely. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. Whoa, do you see how the decks are popping today? Obviously, there are urgent messages for the 4 piles. This is exactly what I'm noticing. It's like Spirit is changing the the title of this reading, and I'm going to do exactly that. Urgent messages from Spirit on what you need to know right now. That's what we can clearly see from the cards. All right. I'm going to take out this, the first pile, and tuck them neatly together. All right, so pile number 1 is ready. There we go. Let's add our rose quartz. There we go. Pile number 2. Is also ready. Oh wow. There we go. With the cherry quartz. Pile number 3. Is also ready. There we go. With the Sodalite. And pile number 4. Is also ready with the Amazonite. Lovely. So I believe we're now ready with our 4 piles absolutely put in place. Thank you for spending this time with me. As I always say, I enjoy it immensely with you guys. I love also when I read in the comment section that you enjoy it as well. I feel like we're communicating back and forth. And it's like this time is not really official. I get to speak to you freely. I don't feel like I'm wasting anybody's time. It's like this calm time that we spend together. Love spending this time with you. Thank you for sticking around. And let's get on to your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading, and I'm changing the name of the reading slightly. And now it's urgent messages from Spirit, because as I was going through the shuffling process, if you're interested in seeing that, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. I realized that the cards were popping out very quickly, and I kind of understood that we need to kind of adjust the title to urgent. All right, so you chose the beautiful rose quartz as well as the goddess Freya. Let me adjust that so you can see it. There we go. Let's first take a look at your oracle cards before we take a look at your tarot and see what you have. Pile number 1. You have altar. This is mansion 13. Okay. Moon mansion, by the way. 13. So it's altar. You have possibilities. And you have Jupiter in Aquarius with innovation. Wow, love this energy. Okay. Yeah, I love this energy. Let's not jump into it. Let's first see the rest of your cards. So let's take the smallest card first so that it fit in here. You have the 3 of Pentacles. What an interesting 3 of Pentacles indeed. You see that flower up top? Love that, okay? You have the Hierophant. Oh my God. You won't believe me if I tell you pile number 1. I was just telling everyone in the shuffling process that I did this reading yesterday, and it took me 4 hours to do this reading. The first pile had the Hierophant twice and had possibilities. It's just magical, I swear. It's really magical. I mean, even though the file was corrupted, I wasn't able to bring out the reading yesterday. I was reminded that everything is done for a reason. Obviously, there perhaps has been a slight change in energy and you're meant to hear something slightly different today. But if I tell you that you had pile number 1, you had possibilities and the Hierophant in the same pile yesterday, you will not believe it. So you have the 10 of Wands. You have the Lovers. And you have the 8 of Pentacles. What a beautiful 8 of Pentacles. So in this pile, you also had the 8 of Pentacles yesterday. You had 2 Hierophants. I don't remember the rest, but you can see similarity in the energies, a little bit different today, slightly different. Let's take a look at the cards, and if I remember something from yesterday and today, I will tell you the shift in energy that I see. Perhaps it will resonate in your life. Okay. Yes, looking at the cards, especially altar here, right in conjunction with possibilities, which you had yesterday. You have Mercury and Saturn with altar. Mercury in conjunction with Saturn shows that something is conventional, something is, or the status quo is to be maintained. And it's right under the shadow aspect of this card with forbidden. In yesterday's reading, pile number 1, so that you are able to align with your message fully, you had 2 Hierophants, you had a lot of cards showing how you have worked very hard. Again, you have the 8 of Pentacles here, to go through a long period of your life where there was a pause, where you were trying to work hard to get out of it, and now you have done the work. You've learned so much, and I'm not going to get too much into yesterday's reading. It was really interesting, but that's just a summary. And now things are opening up for you. Things are opening up for you, but this is why this is an urgent message from Spirit. Although things in your yesterday's message, things were about to open up, things are going wonderful for you, I do see a message of being careful, treading with care, especially that the goddess Freya is the goddess of love and of war as well. So you will have your world open up to you. You will love everything that you're about to receive. But your urgent message from Spirit, and this is perhaps why yesterday's reading didn't come out and it's coming out today as urgent. Do you see here the Magician? There has been some sort of slight alter in energy in your energetic field. This could be due to many reasons. This could be due to perhaps, as the figure shows here, people around you being slightly jealous with things opening up for you. This could be also perhaps you feeling a little burdened and worried. But all in all, Spirit's strong message here is as above, so below. With the Magician appearing here in the altar, and it's really funny. It shows that you are in control, fully in control of the energy around you. Pile number 1. Like I said, things are absolutely looking great for you with Jupiter in Aquarius. Things are opening up for you greatly in a way that is unimaginable to you and everyone else around you. So look out for that. You'll be receiving a lot of things soon, but be careful, pile number 1, with the energy surrounding you. You've worked so hard, as I can see, to climb up top and receive all of that. A very hard worker, not just from today's reading, which is very evident, but also in your yesterday's reading. I can clearly read in yesterday's reading how hard you have worked during some stagnant times where, as much as you were trying, things weren't working out. And we see clearly that with the 10 of Wands, it's the end of this tough cycle. You're learning a lot here, and you're reaching up top at heights that no one around you can imagine, not even you, pile number one. And with the Hierophant, you've learned a lot. You've also learned to protect yourself energetically. You've learned how to deal with people who may be jealous. You've learned a lot with the Hierophant. I see you have a lot of people trick games up in your pocket, up your sleeve, kind of knowing the different types of personalities, what they want from you, do they wish you well or not. But something happened yesterday causing the reading not to come out and shift. Nothing serious. It's just an urgent message from Spirit to be careful with the energy around you. Cleanse it. Don't be afraid is your strongest message. Everything is under control. It's in your hands. Just kind of inspect. Pile number one. Who are you keeping close that may be a little bit intimidated? Not that you should ever lose this person or these people, ever. But they seem to love you very much. They seem to love you very much. But perhaps they have a little healing to grow. So I see Spirit telling you to tread through it, just like the goddess Freya, with strength and love. Don't fight, but pick your battles. See what you're willing to share and what you're willing to do to tread through this victory without hurting someone that still has healing and growth to do. And so that you keep your connection intact, keep the love between you intact, but to also protect your surrounding very, very well. Especially you with pile number one. I saw in your reading that you've spent a long time, maybe even years, trying to get out of a very tough cycle. And it's time for you to protect it at all costs so that you reach up top where you deserve. And let me remind you from yesterday's reading and from today's reading, things will magically open up for you. You'll reach great heights that you will not even begin to imagine. In fact, I do see here in the Three of Pentacles the Hebrew letter Gimel. Gimel means camel. And in the esoteric seeker's journey, the camel symbolizes they're traveling across the abyss. It's a path of development where it's the final ego death, a path in development where you cross to the other side into the world of the ideal. So you're getting into a marvelous, beautiful world. Tread through it at the moment very carefully. You've learned a lot, but be careful with perhaps the people who do love you and wish you well. Let me adjust that. Who might be just a little bit, without knowing, intimidated, or they might be afraid. They might feel like they're being left behind. Whatever it is, keep them close, but at the same time, tread through it gracefully, and don't rely too much that this person can always take this growth. Pile number one. Also, there's a contrast between you and this person, where we did see with Mercury and Saturn a lot of traditional energy, as well as the Hierophant in the shadow aspect. There's stubbornness, traditional energy, sometimes even materially attached, but that's not the point here. So there's a lot of traditional energy as opposed to your energy here with innovation. You've grown a lot. You have a very open mindedness with the Aquarius. You are very progressive. And so there's a clash between the two of you sometimes, where this person is a little slower, a little bit attached to the now, or to what they have, or to the opinions of society or what they've learned. And you have crossed this threshold. You're very progressive. You're much quicker when it comes to your thinking. to your vision. You see far ahead, and sometimes there could be a clash. And so I see Spirit telling you to be a bit loving and patient with that. Not to of course set strong boundaries with the stubbornness, but at the same time to understand where this person's coming from, and that they may not be as blessed as you are when it comes to your progressive thinking. So be patient and be kind and loving, but at the same time be firm and strong. Another thing that I'm seeing, of course, with the Hierophant. Now, the light aspect of the Hierophant is mastery of senses. If you're wondering why there is perhaps difficulty with this person, you've done a lot of healing, you've done a lot of growth, and this is something that will help you to even further grow. Learning not to feel triggered with the stubbornness, but to take it in, to digest it slowly, and to act kindly and patiently is the key here towards this person. Patience. If you feel a little bit angry, don't let this trigger you, and calmly push it aside is your message. Also, going back to your great blessings, because that's one of the exciting things about your reading. The Hierophant in Thoth is associated with the letter vow, and vow means nail, and that's pinning down the spirit to the material world, or how do we say it, spirit realized in matter. And so we see that your spiritual reality is expressed in physical reality through ritual. When your ritual here was you growing and becoming stronger, you are becoming very proud of yourself, as I see. In yesterday's reading, I told you I see Spirit being very proud of you. That's coming in again. You should be very proud of your progress and your growth. And your message here is that this person is very dear. Keep them close. Be patient and loving, and understand that they may not be able to carry as much as you expect them to carry all the time. Just be graceful and kind, and thread through it with kindness and understanding, and things will work out beautifully for you. Like I told you, magically things are opening up for you. You're reaching heights that you do not expect. So all the best of luck with that, pile number 1. I'm so happy for you. So happy. And may you always be blessed. So that was your reading, pile number 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 1, it was such a pleasure. And I'll catch you in the next reading. My love to you. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So you've chosen the goddess Hecate as well as the cherry quartz. And if I tell you that today's reading is absolutely guided by Spirit, you will not believe it, because as I was explaining in the shuffling process, I did create this reading yesterday for 4 hours, and the file was corrupted. I go into the long story of what happened in the shuffling process. If you're interested, you find the time stamp to that in the description box. And as we were shuffling, the cards were coming out really quickly, prompting me to change the name of this reading into urgent messages from Spirit. So it's absolutely guided today's reading. You have Fortuna, which is the 11th moon mansion. You have, Sun and Jupiter. Oh my God. This is blowing my mind, because pile number 1 got some or a lot of the cards that they got yesterday in pile number 1. And you had Fortuna in pile number 2's reading yesterday. It's unbelievable. There seems to be some change in energy, and perhaps this is why we had to change the reading to today. Okay, so let's see your urgent message. So you have Fortuna. Wow. You have satisfied. Love your energy today. You have Venus in Taurus with romance. Love that for you, pile number 2. Let's see. So much love, so much fortune, so much satisfaction, and so much strength. All right. You have the Star. I mean, what? In yesterday's reading as well, you had a lot of cards showing that a lot of fortune is coming for you. So again, this is being repeated in the same pile. This is no coincidence. You have the 6 of Pentacles, victory and success. What can I say? You have Judgment, rising into something. Wow, wow, wow. Love that. Rising into stardom or rising into victory and success. Let's see. Again. Oh, sorry. Apologies. You have the 6 of Wands with the victory and success coming up for you here. And you have the 6 of Pentacles. I must have messed up my mind. You have the 6 of Pentacles with you getting back everything that you put in, receiving. And you have the Page of Cups, ending your reading. You do see with this specific Page of Cups, your heart is opening up to receiving so many things coming your way. Pile number 1. So much fortune that's coming your way that's going to make you very much satisfied. Now, first and foremost, I do see that there's a lot of specifically finances, a lot of money coming your way. And that's very clear. Do you see here with Hecate, she has her arms raised and you do see 2 coins on her hands, symbolizing her ability to bestow riches as well as wisdom. But yeah, to bestow riches. And you also have in your Fortuna card, you have Sun and Jupiter, which talks about a lot of blessings and fortune coming your way. And again, you have a bird or an animal giving you a lot of fortune, a messenger giving you a lot of fortune. So expect a lot, not just a lot of financial wins and a lot of fortune coming your way, but also expect your standard of living to raise very high, where you're achieving your dreams right away. This is a reading of you receiving that right away. It's something that you will absolutely love. Pile number 1. Wow, what a positive reading. I love that for you. I mean, it's so sweet how the urgent message here has to do with you receiving twice in a row in pile 2 yesterday and today. I mean, I can guarantee and confirm as the messages that I'm seeing, this is definitely coming your way. This could not be a coincidence. Pile number 2. So expect a lot of victory, a lot of success, a lot of raising in your power, in your position, and also in your standard of living. Pile number 2. We cannot deny the fact that we are seeing romance here with Venus in Taurus. I mean, I gotta say it. And you have the 6 of Wands specifically depicted as 2 people being married in this reading, in this deck, where it chose to come out. And you have the Page of Emotions, your heart expanding, receiving, and opening up. So I've got to say that there seems to be another surprise coming your way. Pile number 2, if you are single and you're not in a relationship and you're open for one, this seems to be another message for you. You're about to meet someone that will open up your heart, that will feel very satisfactory to you, my dear pile number 2. And it seems like this is a loyal partner as well. Let me tell you why. You have Hecate here, and of course Hecate is always depicted with her hounds. She always travels with her hounds, and she's even been in the past referred to as the dog moon goddess. Yes. And so this is all showing me that you're meeting someone very loyal on the horizon. Perhaps if you already have this person, you'll be marrying them, and they will stay true and faithful to you and faithful to your connection. And I also want to point out, pile number 2, you do see the goddess Hecate always presented with the triad, the virgin, the maiden, and the crone. But this triad is always there depicted to show us the triad of life, like such as past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. The triad could also be birth, life, and death. It could also be heaven, earth, and the underworld. So, all this to say, along with Hecate being the goddess of, one of the goddesses of the dark moon, which is a new moon, it's a time where things are steady, stable, you don't see anything. So perhaps if you're thinking, oh, where's this person going to come from? Yes, this is the black moon. This is the time where things are steady. We cannot see anything because the moon is right in between the earth and the sun, and it's not reflecting the sun, and we cannot see anything. And after that comes the new moon, where things begin. So this is where the past, present, and future, this movement, as we can see, is very much depicted. We are starting a new beginning, not just with victory and wealth, may you be blessed, pile number 2, but also with a loyal partner. I do see that you as well will be very loyal to this person. You'll be companions. Let me tell you why. Because the hound was the goddess Hecate's travel companion everywhere she went. And so I see you'll go through a long journey together. You'll be close. It's like, you know how they say a dog is a man's best friend. You'll be best friends. You'll be going on a long journey together, being faithful. I absolutely love that for you, pile number 2. This seems to be an urgent message here for you, opening you up to receive all of the success that you absolutely deserve. And I'm so happy for you. May you enjoy and bask into all these wonderful emotions and wonderful blessings coming your way. It's like you'll feel euphoric in this month, where things are just showering for you, or in the season, perhaps spring season, even though this video is timeless. But if you're watching this now, it's during the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, and you're being showered during this season with a lot of blessings and wishes coming true, your heart expanding. You're being kind of makes me feel you're being rewarded here. You're being relaxed after perhaps a time of disappointment, which is the shadow part of this card. We see now you're entering a time of satisfaction, happiness, being emotionally fulfilled, as well as having your dreams and your wishes come true. Pile number 2. I'm so happy for you. I'm also seeing a strong message of living in the present, especially with Hecate. It's all about grounding yourself and living in the present. And you have Venus in Taurus, which is all about enjoying the material world. You also have the deacon for the 6 of Pentacles, the moon in Taurus. Again, grounding yourself, living in the present moment. Pile number 2. This is a time for you to enjoy life's riches. It's a time for you to live what you're about to manifest. in the 3D. There's no harm in that as long as you're not attached. Enjoy it to the fullest. Enjoy the present moment. Radiate gratitude. Radiate happiness. It's your time. The time is now for you, pile number 2. And I'm so happy to be delivering this message for you. I feel so blessed to be delivering this for you. Enjoy it to the full, pile number 2. Live in the present moment, as I see your strongest message from Spirit here. And to be open, as we can see, to receive everything. This is like a kind pat on the back. Especially that I did notice with disappointment. This is in the past. It was a long time, with one of Hecate's faces, we see the past. It was a long past, perhaps full of disappointment. It's now in the present and in the future, the time where you'll be receiving, leveling up, and enjoying your world. You perhaps have done a lot of hard work, and you're now about to bask into your blessings. Pile number 2. And you know, during the past month and a half, I have been seeing this combination clearly. Unbelievable. With strong indication of wealth and strong indication of love for a specific pile every now and then showing up. And so if you have been picking this pile for the past half month that we've been seeing energetically in this channel over and over, you can definitely be sure this is definitely your reading being manifested here in the spring equinox for you, pile number 2. And I am wishing you nothing but the best with this. So pile number 2, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. You might be interested in it. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 2, it was such a pleasure doing this reading for you. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I've enjoyed it immensely, and I'm sending you so much love during this time of blessing. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you have chosen the Sodalite as well as Kali, and I can already tell this reading is going to be interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, I forgot to light the candle, and we are going to be lighting it together in your reading. So this is symbolizing perhaps a sort of light up or your life brightening. Also, I love Kali. If you've been long enough on this channel, you know how much I have so much respect for Kali. In fact, I'll link down in the description box readings that I've done with Kali if you love to have readings with Kali as well. To me, she is a fierce, strong goddess that is there to help us manifest our dreams and grow and become exactly who we want. And Kali does that by showing us boldly what we may not always be ready to see, or not, or perhaps we're putting in the back burner. She's here, bold, showing us what we need to see so that we finally cross to the other side and get everything that we've always desired. I also want to tell you another thing, that this reading's name has been changed slightly. It's now Urgent Messages from Spirit. And the reason for that, I don't want to ruin your reading time. You'll find the timestamp to the shuffling process where I explain how I've done this video yesterday and the file got corrupted and I changed it today, and throughout the shuffling process it's explained much better. All right, so you have the waxing moon gibbous. Let me adjust that so you can see it. There we go. With passion, Okay, I'm not gonna repeat myself here. You have reassured. Lovely. You have Moon in Scorpio with power. In the first two piles, they got a lot of the cards that they had in yesterday's reading before the file got corrupted, perhaps adjusting the messages, perhaps energetically things have changed slightly. In pile number three, you had Kali yesterday, and you also had the waxing moon passion. I wish this file one day gets fixed, and I will post it on Instagram so that you can see how the three piles had magically a lot of the cards that they had yesterday. It's blowing my mind. Really blowing my mind so far. Okay, so, all right, this wants to come out first. So you have the Ace of Swords. See a lot of blues in your reading, especially the Sodalite as well. Okay. Right, wow. So you have the Nine of Pentacles. Love that. You have the Six of Cups. You have the Ten of Cups. Wow. Wow. Okay. And you have the Magician. So in yesterday's reading, in your reading pile number 3, we saw the idea of someone taking your hard-earned money and you keeping your part of the deal of perhaps giving them this money that you've worked hard to save, and this person not really keeping their part of the deal. And in today's reading, this is signified again. It's one part of this Nine of Pentacles. Let me show it to you before I move on. You can see, and one way to read this Nine of Pentacles, you do see someone being spoiled, dressing up lavishly in silk, strolling around the city, and you see them again spending finances from somebody's hard-earned money, with the factory at the backdrop being shown. And I see in today's reading, you have the idea of being reassured that this is not in fact going to happen. And we could see in yesterday's reading, where this person is going back and forth, the idea of you being fierce and standing up for yourself. I see that with the Six of Cups, there's some sort of reconciliation with this person, that they're not going to be able to take your money and leave, or leave that part of the deal, even if it doesn't have to do with finances. I see your concern. In today's reading, it's shown that that you are being reassured by Spirit that everything will work out fine with the concerned party. This could be someone that you've employed who is not doing their job, or perhaps your landlord, as yesterday's reading was showing, buildings at the back. Or maybe this is your connection with someone where you were honest with this person and this person wasn't. But I do see your message from Spirit is that you're really leveling up in terms of your personal power. And I'm so proud of you here, pile number 2. It's very impressive. You've gained a lot of personal power, the Moon in Scorpio, obviously. And you can also see as well with Kali how she's depicted here with 4 arms. One of them, she's holding the, I think, called goblet. Yeah, the goblet, signifying that she's drinking of the blood of the demon Rakshvit? No. Raktavija, if I'm not mistaken, please let me know in the description box. I think it's Raktavita, the demon Raktavita, showing boldness and being fierce and not being afraid. Also, you can see Kali in one of her arms holding a dagger, and you do see in the other two arms her holding the heads of her two giant enemies or giant victims here. So all this shows that you have been very fierce in your energy. You've been greatly standing up for yourself, and you're growing in terms of your personal power, pile number 3. You're becoming a very strong person. This could also signify you moving into a higher position at work in which you will be able to handle very well like a boss. If you felt like you needed assistance in the past, you're moving into a stronger position. At this stage of your life, your spirit is telling you, depend on yourself. Don't be afraid. You will see in yourself a lot of power that you had not imagined was with you. And now you're perhaps as well being supported by finances here with the 9 of Pentacles. We'll get into that in a second. So for a lot of you, especially that the Magician is appearing, it talks about skills. You could be leveling up at work. You're getting a stronger position. And I see Spirit telling you, don't be afraid to take this position. You'll do absolutely well. And you may even have a wonderful connection with your team as well. Another thing that I'm seeing here, we can clearly see you're gaining independence of some sort. You're leveling up in terms of your character and also financially. You do see a woman that is lavishly dressed in her silk dress, strolling the town. You do see that she's put a mask on, representing who she wants to display herself as, her choosing how she wants to be perceived, expressing herself the way she likes. And you also see that she no longer has 2 arms, meaning that she doesn't have to work as hard as she used to do. Even though she has industrial work ethics, she doesn't now have to work as hard as she used to work. And now she's blessed with a lot of financial independence. So I see a lot of independence, a lot of financial prosperity coming for you, pile number 3, which is one of your strongest messages from Spirit here. And I do see that it's coming from your work. You're making yourself independent, perhaps by maybe you've worked very hard and you saved a lot and now you have the luxury of taking care of yourself, or maybe you are opening up or you've already opened up your own personal business. You're very skilled, obviously, and there's a lot of finances coming your way. So and with the 10 of Cups, you're totally in this coming period of time, you're being blessed emotionally. You're very happy because you're kind of like achieving your dreams, which is one of the meanings of the 9 of Pentacles. Your dreams coming true, living your dream. And so I see here you'll be doing what you love, and it's a time of your life that is full of clarity, as opposed to perhaps a time with concern here, where things weren't clear. You didn't know how your future was going to be like. You didn't know how to deal with certain people who tricked you and could have tried to manipulate your situation. The future wasn't clear. You didn't know what to do. You're now stepping into a time that is clear. Everything is out in the open. You're equipped with a lot of wisdom. You've learned a lot from your past. And you've learned to connect with those who you might have found challenging in the past well. You're now dealing with challenging people in a much easier way as a result of the growth and power and wisdom that you've accumulated throughout the years, pile number 3. And so your strongest message from Spirit is to not be afraid to deal with things head on. Do not be challenged, and to keep it cool and calm. This is how you show your power. But at the same time, be fierce moving forward, and to look forward to you being in a stronger position, in a much more powerful position. Could this be a social position? Could this be a work position? This is, of course, going to differ between one person listening to this reading and another. But all in all, you're going to be very happy. It's a new time, a new era of your life with the gibbous waxing moon. A time where you're passionate about life. You feel like whatever you're working on is actually working. You feel independent. You feel strong. You no longer feel tied to certain people to help you achieve your ideas or achieve the things that you want. There are wings now. You're about to fly. And perhaps the strongest message here, if you're still tied to certain people, if you're still tied to certain safety measures, not ones that serve you, but ones that don't serve you, I see your strongest urgent message from Spirit is to take a stroll, walk out of it calmly and peacefully, step by step. You don't have to let it go all of a sudden where you feel like you're out of balance, but to stroll, one leg to walk and the other to stroll, and to take yourself out of the situations where you feel tied, the situations that are taking from your independence, especially the ones you are tapping into now, so that you can see for yourself that you're able to achieve everything that you want. In fact, this is definitely a message for you, because most of the pentacles are upright, but only a few are not, such as this one. This one's upright, such as this one and this one. Well, if you look at them from another angle, they are upright. My point is seeing them this way. It shows that you are independent now. You just have a couple of things to let go of. You know how they say some things can help you, but don't let them be your crutch, where you are overly dependent on them to survive. So your urgent message from Spirit, you're a strong person now. You have a lot of internal power. In fact, Scorpio is a sign all about personal power. You have a lot of internal power in you now, and what you may have been afraid of in the past, you're conciliating with, you're becoming stronger. And I see Spirit telling you, just give yourself the chance to see how you're able to tackle some things that you are afraid of. You'll be surprised to see that you no longer need this crutch, that you can stroll independently and happily in your life, and you no longer need anything or anyone to have what you need done. You can depend on yourself little by little. And always remember, pile number 3, little by little, a little becomes a lot. Give yourself the chance to believe in that little by little, and by time you realize, hey, I am capable of doing everything on my own. And the things that I didn't know how to do in the past, I'm now learning little by little through these people or these situations, and I'm now capable of fully doing it on my own. So that is your strongest message here. I have loved your pile number 3. And if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. I wrote it from my heart to yours. May you enjoy it and become an even better person when it comes to productivity. And if you're interested in this book, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. And pile number 3, it was such a pleasure. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So you have chosen the beautiful Venus and the Amazonite. The name of this reading has been changed ever so slightly. It's now Urgent Messages from Spirit about what you need to know right now. And the long reason for that you'll find in the preparation section of this reading, which you'll find the timestamp to if you're interested in knowing more about it, where I talk about how I shot this video yesterday. It was corrupted and then we had to do it. It's a long story. But anyways, that's the summary of it. We've changed it slightly and now I'm sure it's really divinely guided. There's an urgent message for you today. You have the waxing moon, the crescent, with idea. All right. This is in air, of course. This is why it's idea. You also have delighted. Okay. You have the sun in Gemini with versatility. Wow. Okay. Let's take a look at the rest of your tarot cards. In your pile, you had 2 of these cards, so 1 extra here. You have the 3 of Pentacles. What? A 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Kind of like collaborating with love. Okay. You have the 10 of Swords. You have the 7 of Cups. You have the 9 of Pentacles, and I heard independence right away as soon as this came out. Okay, we'll see what this is about. You have the 9 of Pentacles. You have the Lover's card. And you have the Moon card ending your reading. Quite interesting. Seeing the Lover's card and Venus, also this collaboration with love, I can't help but feel that this has to do with a dear one, pile number 4. With the Amazonite, I see Spirit's message, urgent message, is to filter and collaborate with a dear person in your life, rather than perhaps maybe there are quarrels at this point with the 10 of Swords. So there needs to be clarity with a certain dear person in your life, pile number 4. And you can see that clearly depicted in the 7 of Cups, what you choose to think or believe. Because if you take a look, you do see someone staring at the 7 Cups, struggling to draw what they're seeing. And then with the moon figure, the other part of his face or their face, they're drawing something else than what they're seeing. And you do see the collaboration between the conscious mind and the conscious mind, subconscious mind, depicted as the moon here again, highlighting that, and the conscious mind collaborating together to conceive an altered vision of reality. So because of the heightened emotions, perhaps, there isn't clarity at the moment, with a lot of sorrow in a certain connection. Perhaps this is a connection with a parent or a friend or a manager, a co-worker. It's not really highlighted, but it's someone that you've had a beautiful connection with, pile number 4. And there seems to be an urgent message from Spirit to clear the air, to bring clarity, to decide to speak from the heart, and to be versatile, to listen to what this person has to say, but to also share your ideas clearly of what is right for you as well. Do you see, from the very beginning, we've noticed this 3 of Pentacles as people collaborating with love, head to head, but not head to head in this manner, but rather listening to each other. Their ears are touching, listening to each other and building the road with love and versatility. With the 10 of Swords, I see that perhaps both of you have lately been shocking each other, hurting each other unnecessarily. And maybe you've gone independent from each other with the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles shows independence. Maybe you've split even. Or maybe you're on a pause and you're not speaking. And at the moment, both of you are formulating what's happening from their own perspective. Sometimes even falsely depicting reality and what's happening. So I see an invitation from Spirit to connect back with love, to speak with love, to speak with softness, and to speak with clarity. And for both of you to maybe be a bit versatile and go out of your way to do things a little bit differently than the way you've done it together. Making sure that you listen to each other and you put into consideration what is important for you and what is important for them. I feel like there are split worlds here. One in the sea and one up top where you're not really able to meet. There's lack of listening to each other, bringing a lot of sorrow here. And you do see with the 7 of Cups, this person is drawing something and is not showing it to the character at the back. It's like you're afraid to speak, to share your ideas because you're afraid, or both of you are afraid that the other person will misuse this information. So there seems to be a lack of trust as well. Although you really do mean a lot to each other. There's a lot of love going on here. Pile number 4. And so with filtration and idea, I see the message of not communicating during a time where both of you are hurt. It will not bring clarity to the situation. I see the idea of treading through these times carefully and finding the right time when both of you are connected to speak honestly amongst both of you yourselves and to perhaps set new rules. Oh my God, was setting new rules in pile number 4's reading yesterday? Let me take a moment to remember. Oh my God, yes, it was the moon in Virgo, I believe. Let me get the card. You will not believe this. Hold on. Oh my God, that was part of your message yesterday. It was this card that you got yesterday. Let me adjust that. There we go. So you have the moon in Virgo with putting things in order, making things clear between the two of you, setting ground rules on how to deal with each other in a better way, being clear and detailed about how to go along and bring the beginning of the problem, finding the root cause of the situation and dealing with it probably. But I do see your advice from Spirit here is to do it during a time where the emotions have calmed down, because 10 of Swords is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a beautiful, nice one. It's the end where both of you split, perhaps. But also the Nine of Pentacles shows a dream come true, shows happiness. And so this could be the materialization of what you wish for in this connection with this person. And so, you, like I was saying, my trail of thoughts here, your message from Spirit is to hold off from speaking about things at the moment. Let things calm down. And once things are calmed down, don't be flexible is the message, as you can see here. Don't allow your triggers to sabotage the conversation without meaning to. So this may require patience, may require healing, may require communication, letting the other person say what they want to say, and then taking your turn to say what you want to say clearly. But all in all, during a loving time, putting things in order, into the right perspective, sharing your ideas clearly, because it's during these loving times where you may be able to communicate softly because emotions aren't overwhelming you, and there will be a lot of success in this connection. In fact, you have the Amazonite, which is filtration of the air. Things will calm down, things will be clear, and you will be able to communicate lovingly with this person sometime in the future, in the near future, when it's possible. And these rules will set the tone and the trajectory of your connection moving on from there. And that was also your message yesterday, pile number 4. Fascinating. I cannot believe how the messages in each piles have come, perhaps with a little bit of shift in some of the piles, but yes, with your pile things are even clearer. You can see again a lot of love and a lot of connection. That couldn't be a coincidence in yesterday's reading and today's reading. In fact, we have the goddess Venus herself representing your reading. You see her holding a wand, or what is it called? I can't remember. With the lotus flower in red representing the god Mars, her love and her passion. So, yeah, and things are stagnant because usually Venus is depicted as being carried by 6 beautiful swans. You see things are stagnant at the moment. So don't worry about that. There's a lot of love between the two of you. There's a lot of dearness between the two of you for things to end or for things to go sour. But most importantly, do not let your minds draw different pictures than reality, perhaps resulting from your worries and your unconscious fears. And let the feelings reside and speak to this person in order when things have calmed down, and collaborate with love with them, and that will absolutely work for you, pile number 4. You know, I'm getting the idea here of walking on eggshells. I think during your communication there will be a need to say what you want clearly, but to say it softly and with love. You do see, of course, Venus holding holding a mirror with a glyph of Venus, symbolizing femininity. We're seeing communication through love, communication with softness, motherly kind of energy. To communicate with love, with softness, to do it carefully, perhaps the way you would try to give a message kindly to a child, because a child could be very sensitive, and sometimes when we are in dear connections we open up and show our vulnerabilities. And so sometimes the right way to tread through it is to speak softly and kindly, to say our things, to speak our minds clearly, but with a lot of gentillesse, I want to say, gentleness. Yeah, a lot of kindness and gentleness. And things, as I can see, will filter out, and you'll be cooperating together with so much love moving forward. I feel like from yesterday's reading, we clearly saw in your reading that these rules will really set up how everything is going to go. So it's going to be a very important moment, a cornerstone in your connection that will shift things moving forward. Especially that this certain I don't know, argument or split or disagreement really hurt the two of you. It brought a lot of frustration. I think both of you perhaps showed your powers, maybe. It showed how you can bring sorrow to each other, showed how things will not be moving forward. You've shown a lot of stubbornness as well. So now the opposite energy is flexibility as you speak. It's time for you to now be flexible. Both of you, I feel, will be very flexible, speaking your minds out, knowing that things will only get worse and you want them to be in order now. Pile number 4. And that's how I see your connection with this person moving. Things will filter out and you'll go back to even being stronger and more loving towards each other. So pile number 4, that was your reading, and I'm pretty sure because that was yesterday's reading. And if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. You might be interested in it because it's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 4, it was such a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.